let's go to Numbers 14, because this further explains um, reincarnation. Let me see. It's Numbers 14 and 18.
Got you. It says, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is long suffering and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression,
Mm-hmm.
and by no means clearing the guilty.
See, and by no means clearing the guilty. So somewhere along the line, the guilty have to pay. Go ahead.
Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation.
So we know the fathers don't pay for the children don't pay for the fathers, but there's a reason why the iniquity is visited upon the fathers, or the fathers is visited upon the children unto the what, third and fourth generation. Because around the third or fourth generation, that same spirit will be coming back within that family line. You know? And that's when the Lord will bring judgment. That's why, matter of fact, let's go to St. John chapter 9 and 1.
Yep.
And that's why Yahushai, or the disciples asked Yahushai this question. Now, the reason why this man was born the way he was born was to justify, glorify Yahweh Bashem Yahushai when Yahushai, performed the miracle on him. That was the reason why he was, born that way. But the point of the matter is, when the disciples asked Yahushai, why he did it and why he was born that way, the way that they phrased the question, they understood about reincarnation. And we're going to get one more, and then we're going to get into
John 9 and 1. It says, and Yahushai passed by. And as Yahushai passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?
So if he was born blind, how could he have sinned to be born blind? See, that's the question. They understood about reincarnation back then, unlike today. So the point, like I said, he wasn't born that way because of anyone's sin. He was born that way for the Most High to be glorified through his son Yahushai. But the point is, the reason why they asked the question that way is because they understood about reincarnation. Okay, because it is impossible for the man to sin if he was born that way. So if the case was that he was born because he sinned that way, when did he sin? In a past life. And they understood that. Now let's get one more. What is that? Is that Matthew 16? Where the Yahushua asked him?
Yeah.
All right.
Matthew 16 and 13. When Yahushua came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am?
Mm-hmm.
And they said, some say that thou art John the Baptist.
Go ahead.
Some Elias.
Mm-hmm.
And others Jeremiah,
mm-hmm.
or one of the prophets.
Right. So why were they reasoning like that? Because reincarnation does exist in the scriptures. So they were saying, well, he might be Jeremiah, he might be Elijah, he might be one of the other prophets, in the reincarnation, because the prophets were long gone. They were dead already. So why did they say that? Because they understood about the concept of reincarnation in the scriptures. So now when you read the book.
All right, Shalom. I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahushai Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth, and double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring, the house of David, the elect, that's pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers, and shalom to the elect. I'm back with another quick lesson through the Holy Spirit of the Rakakwadash, and I pray that this lesson is edifying to the elect. And I wanted to land back off the points that Elder Apostle Ramla was making in his lesson concerning the topic of reincarnation, which we know reincarnation is biblical. So the Spirit had it when I was watching the lesson. I came across this article here. All right, and this is from dailymail.co.uk. In the header, it reads, it says, secret Pentagon study hints reincarnation being real. See? secret Pentagon study hints at reincarnation being real after finding consciousness never dies. You see? And we know that Esau is carnal and he has to scientifically prove everything. But all he's doing is just confirming what we already knew through the Spirit, our faith. Okay. And this further proves again that the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai are indeed faithful and true. You see, secret Pentagon study hints at reincarnation being real after finding consciousness never dies. All right. That's Ecclesiastes, the 1st chapter. Right. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1 and verse 9. And it reads, it says, the thing that have been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun, right? Like they say, history repeats itself, right? It says, verse 10, is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It have been already of old time, which was before us, right? So the Spirit is recycled. Okay, you come back, in that 3rd and 4th generation. You see that? Verse 11, it says, there is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after, right? So pretty much the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, he blocked off our memories of our past lives, all right? But the point is that reincarnation is very real, and Esau knows that. Here's another one real quick. Ecclesiastes chapter 3. In verse 16, and it reads, it says, and moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, which is the planet Earth. That wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. All right. So when you die, you go back to the Heavenly Father, right? And your spirit is at rest until, you receive your judgment and you're brought back down here on the earth. All right. So this is the place of judgment where the earth is where you play out your judgment in that next life when you come back. Okay. It says, I said in my heart, the Most High shall judge the righteous and the wicked. For there is a time. It says, for there is a time, therefore every purpose and for every work. All right. So let's go back to this article here. All right. Once again, reading the title again, it says secret Pentagon study, hence reincarnation being real after finding consciousness never dies. Right. Now, before we read this, let's play this video here at the bottom and we'll grab scriptures as we go along.
We're pretty sure reincarnation is real. Wait, why do you think that? What we found is consciousness is energy, and it exists outside of our understanding of reality, and energy never dies. So if what is within us is energy, are you saying that it can be transferred to another body because it never dies? That's correct. Okay, but what are you basing this off of? Used research that was already done by highly regarded psychologists in this field that point to there being a source that we're all trying to get back to eventually. So every time we reincarnate, we're supposed to learn something more or something until we gain enough luck to get back to the source. It is quite possible. Okay, I just double checked the documents, but it's all run-on sentences. You can barely read any of it. Yeah, we do that on purpose. Well, I haven't heard of any scientists talking about this recently. So now the field of parapsychology is deemed to be unworthy of further research by modern day scientists, but we haven't stopped. We've just started to ask questions to children in a controlled environment. Why the kids? It seems they're the ones that most easily remember their past lives between the ages of 1 and 5. What are these experiments called? Well, if I make a video about that again, it will be taken down once more. Basically, all you can tell us is that based on these experiments with these kids and all of the psychological and scientific research that was done in previous years, that you're pretty sure reincarnation is a legit thing. Yep.
There you go. So let's read this article. Excuse me. Let's read this article real quick. Right. Now, before we read, let me get this word reincarnation in the etymology. All right. So this reincarnation in the etymology, it says the term reincarnation comes from the Latin word meaning entering the flesh again. All right, basically back in the flesh. You know, the spirit is going to come back in the flesh. It said it is formed from the prefix re, meaning back or again, and incarnation, which refers to the embodiment of a soul in a physical form. Right. So you come back. Okay. Like the elder apostle Aramla was bringing out, you know, he was breaking it down, you know, that third and fourth generation. All right. Once again, reincarnation, fact of repeated incarnation, state of being embodied anew, right? In a new body. That spirit comes back in a new body. From back again, incarnation, meaning a new embodiment. There you go. You see? So let's just read that article here. All right. And I'll grab some scriptures here to add on some more. It says a study conducted by U.S. Army intelligence has suggested that reincarnation is real because consciousness never dies. Entitled Analysis and Assessment of the Gateway Process, the 29-page report was drafted by U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel Wayne M. McDonnell in 1983 and declassified by the CIA in 2003. It says the research has resurfaced on social media, with Chicago-based comedian Sarah Holcomb summarizing the findings, saying, "We're pretty sure reincarnation is real." Right, and what's heavy too is that even these heathen nations, they believe in reincarnation. You know, especially dealing with like Elam and Ishmael, but they believe you come back as plants, animals, and insects. All right, so even amongst these nations, they have an idea, if you will, of, you know, reincarnation, you know, being real. All right. But as we're breaking it down properly, all right, that spirit comes back, you know. Let's see if there's any more. All right. Matter of fact, I have another video here. Let's just play that. Here's the studies, you know, or whatnot, but I want to play this video and we'll grab the scriptures here. All right. This is kind of just adding on to the article that we're reading here. All right. Secret Pentagon study. Could reincarnation be real?
Secret Pentagon study. Could reincarnation be real? A report prepared by the U.S. Army Intelligence in 1983 and declassified by the CIA in 2003 suggests that there may be a scientific basis for reincarnation and the immortality of consciousness. The 29-page report, titled Analysis and Assessment of the Gateway Process, was written by Lieutenant Colonel Wayne M. McDonnell and details the Pentagon's research on astral projection, consciousness alteration, and psychic espionage. A study conducted by the U.S. Army Intelligence in 1983 suggested that consciousness never dies and therefore reincarnation may be real. The 29-page report titled Analysis and Assessment of...
This is heavy.
Let's let this pass, Salakia.
Gateway Process, Getaway Experience, was prepared by Lieutenant Colonel Wayne M. McDonnell and declassified by the CIA in 2003. According to the report that has come to the fore, consciousness is made up of energy and never disappears. According to the findings in McDonnell's report,
your spirit is energy. All right, and that energy, that spirit never dies. Right?
Consciousness passes to a dimension called the absolute after physical death and carries past life experiences with it. Studies conducted by the Monroe Institute in Virginia claim that consciousness can be transferred beyond physical boundaries and that this process is related to rebirth, reincarnation. These findings carry a deep meaning that consciousness can transcend the limitations of time and space. In other words, consciousness not only continues to exist independently of physical form, but also carries its experiences by transitioning from one life to another. The report argues that these techniques are based on a scientific basis and that consciousness can transcend time and space. McDonnell states that the gateway process can be effective, but that more work is needed to control these experiences and develop them through training.
Right, so pretty much, like the scriptures say, you know, this man, he does a diligent search, right? Diligent Let me pull that up. Diligent search. All right. This is Psalm 64 and verse 6. It says, they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. All right. So this is what Esau does. He's carnal. You know, he has to prove everything scientifically. All right. But they are aware that reincarnation is real. All right. It says they accomplish a diligent search. Both their inward thought and every one of them, the heart is deep. So Esau, this is what they do. They do the studies, they do the research and all of that. All right. But it's like I said, it's just confirming everything that we already know. All right. One more. I was thinking about that in Ezekiel 28. All right. Ezekiel 28 and verse 3, straight to the point. It says, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. Right. So Esau, you know, this is what he does. All right. They research, they use their so-called scientific methods and whatnot. All right. So Esau basically, like Elder Apostle Tahar says, you know, Esau is not stupid, man. All right. They're fully aware of, you know, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the existence of his power. All right. Reincarnation and many other things, man. All right. But the point of this lesson is to prove again, all right, that these, you know, that these devils, they know that reincarnation is very real. Okay. And this just confirms what we teach. All right. Confirms what the scriptures say. All right. And I was thinking about this just to prove that that the prophets are back, you know. All right. That the true prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahushai are back on the earth prophesying again. All right. Here's some more scriptures dealing with the topic of reincarnation. This is Revelation chapter 10, and we're going to start at verse 9, and it reads, it says, and I went unto the angel and said unto him, give me the little book. All right, and that's the scriptures. It says, and he said unto me, take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it should be in thy mouth sweet as honey. Verse 10, it says, and I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey, and as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. The point, verse 11. And he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many people. So this is what Yahweh Shem Yahushai was telling the Apostle John. Thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. So Yahweh Shem Yahushai was telling Apostle John that he was going to come back and prophesy again. Okay? So the point, the prophets are back. Okay? They're back now in these last days. Prophesying Yahweh Shem Yahushai again, right? Same thing he told to Daniel. Daniel 12 and 13. It says, but go thy way till the end be, for thou shalt rest, right? Meaning you when you die, you're going to be at rest. And it says, and stand in thy lot at the end of days. So just like Yahweh Shem Yahushai told Apostle John that he was going to come back and prophesy before many nations and kings and all of that. It's the same thing he told Daniel. He says, stand in thy light at the end of the day. So Daniel was going to come back prophesying again in the last days, right? Stand in thy lot, right? The prophets are back in their lot. Isaiah 34 and 16. The point is in 17. It says, Isaiah 34 and 16, seek ye out of the book of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and read. No one of these shall fail. All right, speaking about the prophecies. None shall want her mate. For my mouth have commanded, and his spirit have gathered them. The point, and he have cast lots, and he have cast a lot for them, and his hand have divided it unto them by line. Right, so that's going back to the portion of spirit that was given to the prophets to prophesy, man. It says they shall possess it forever. That's the lot. From generation to generation, they shall dwell therein. Right. So the prophets will come back in the lot that they had before. All right. The lot that they were in the past, they will come back now in that same position, in that same lot. It says from generation to generation shall they dwell therein. Okay. So the prophets of Yahweh, once again, the prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahushai are back in the reincarnation now. All right, whether you believe that or not, whether you can see it or not, all right? 1 Corinthians 14 and 32, it says, and the spirit of the prophets are subject to the prophets. There you go. Okay, so if you were a prophet in the past, you would be a prophet back in the reincarnation now. You know, they would stand in their lot, right? And that's why we make the point, all right, speaking about this truth, all right, about how pretty much like it tells us in Malachi that Elijah, right, that Elijah would come back in the last days, and he did, right? But you have to have the ears to hear and the eyes to see it through the Spirit. You know, this is Malachi chapter 4. All right, once again, dealing with reincarnation, Malachi 4 and verse 5, it says, "Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua." And the Lord did that. All right, because Elijah came back twice. All right, he came back as John the Baptist, and then he came back as elder high priest Abba Bivens. Right, it says verse 6, "And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse." Right, so that happened. Okay, fast forwarding into these times now, after that 3 days and a half, pursuing the Revelation chapter 11, all right, in verse 11, okay, he was part of that, you know, Elijah coming back, elder high priest Abba Bivens, man, okay, returning the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse, right? The breakdown of the 12 tribes, man. Okay, the locations, the characteristics. Okay, he did that, right? Let me add some more. All right, this is Luke. Okay, this is Luke 1 and 13. It says, "But the angel said unto him, Fear not, Zacharias, for thy prayers is heard, and thy wife Elizabeth shall bear thee a son, and thou shalt call his name John." All right, this is dealing with John the Baptist. "And they shall have joy and gladness, and many shall rejoice at his birth. For he shall be great in the sight of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and shall drink neither wine nor strong drink, and he shall be filled with the Holy Spirit, even from his mother's womb. And many of the children of Israel shall he turn to the Lord their power." All right, just like John the Baptist did. Okay, it says, "And he should go before him in the spirit and power of Elijah." You see that? Because remember, Elijah came back twice. He came back as John the Baptist, and he came back later as elder high priest Abba Bivens. You see? "And he should go before him in the spirit and power of Elijah, to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the disobedient to the wisdom of the just, to make ready a people prepared for the Lord." Right? So John the Baptist was basically, you know, the forerunner for Yahweh Shai, man. He prepared the way, right, to bring us back to the understanding of who we are. All right, like I said, the breakdown of the tribes, you know, where they would be located, so on and so forth, the characteristics. This is what happened, right? Sirach 48 and Sirach 48, and I want to get straight to the point here. All right, Sirach 48 and verse 3. We'll start at the top. Here we go. Sirach 48 and verse 1. "Then stood up Elijah the prophet as fire, and his word burned like a lamp." Salaki, "and his word burned like a lamp. And he brought a sore famine upon them, and by his zeal he diminished their number. By the word of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, he shut up heaven, and also 3 times brought down fire," right, upon those false prophets of Baal. "O Elijah, how was thou honored in thy wondrous deeds? And who made glory like unto thee? Who didst raise up a dead man from death, and his soul from the place of the dead, by the word of the Most High, who brought kings to destruction, and honorable men from their bed, who heardest the rebuke of the Lord in Sinai, and in Horeb the judgment of vengeance." Verse 8, who anointest kings to take revenge, and prophets to succeed after him, who was taken up in a whirlwind of fire, in a chariot of fiery horses, right? Because Elijah was taken up by Yahweh Shem Yahushua in the chariots. All right. It says the point, verse 10, "who was ordained for reproofs in their times, to pacify the wrath of the Lord's judgment before it break forth into fury, and to turn the heart of the Father unto the Son, and to restore the tribes of Jacob. This happened, man. Okay? Elijah came back in the reincarnation. There's John the Baptist and Elder High Priest Abba Bivens. All right? So it's all the spirit, man. All right? But the point that I wanted to make is that these devils, they know, which confirms what we believe anyway. All right? So that's pretty much the point. You know, you can check this article out, this video as well. But Esau knows, man. Call Haloim La Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Rakakwadash. Shalom.